Catherine mirrors Diana. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor, continuing to educate you about narcissism. With my series that focus on famous and infamous people, I of course have identified individuals who are narcissists and explain why they are, and then interpret their ongoing behaviours, often through videos, which you all find extremely useful to increase your own understanding of narcissism and also with regard to applicability in your own lives. I also, of course, identify individuals who are not narcissists so that you can see a comparison. I also do so with regard to highlighting the ways in which certain narcissistic individuals, who are narcissists, try and control the narrative, and how that is done by trying to smear non-narcissists and to draw comparisons. As you are aware, there are a number of supine publications which are in the pay of Harry's wife to enable her to have her PR puff pieces, some of which one suspects she's even written herself, to be pumped out into the world in order to enable those prime aims to be achieved. Remember, she doesn't know that she's seeking the prime aims. Now, one of the things that a narcissist will often do is mirror other people. Human beings do instinctively mirror anyway, as I've explained elsewhere. This is done as part of the birds of a feather, as part of an exhibition of empathy, a part of fitting in and making another person feel comfortable. So people might mirror speech patterns, tone, gestures, and often do so unconsciously. It's part of belonging, that herd mentality. Of course, when the narcissist engages in this behaviour, it's being done for that ulterior motive of the prime aims. It's being done to control that person by duping the individual into thinking that the person in front of them, the narcissist, is similar to them. It's done, of course, to draw fuel from them by their reactions, and it may well also be there to draw character traits and individual benefits. Indeed, the narcissist may acquire the character trait from the victim and mirror it back at the victim in order to give that appearance of fitting in. Mirroring is used extensively by narcissists, and if you'd like to understand more about this, I direct you to my video, Why Do Narcissists Copy? You'll find that extremely interesting. The mirroring is another form of manipulation and part of the narcissistic dynamic that enables us to lay our hands on those all-important prime aims. We might mirror you in the way that you dress. For instance, Amber Heard was doing that during the trial, copying the style that Johnny Depp was wearing. Mirroring in terms of clothing. A narcissist may mirror the words that you use. I've noticed that there are certain individuals that mirror, for instance, phrases that I utilize. For instance, where I talk about epsilon semi-morons, and where I talk about things such as saying, you can fuck that shit sky high. That I've noticed that certain individuals mirror that. In some instances, of course, people will take that for the purpose of they finding it amusing and they like to use the phrase themselves. So, for instance, people saying, bombshell, in a way that's similar to me. But where we've ascertained that an individual is a narcissist, we can see that the mirroring takes place in terms of mimicking the form of speech, the words used, the tone that's used, the body language that an individual uses. We mirror in terms of interests. We mirror in terms of things that you don't like. We mirror the songs that you find entertaining or uplifting. We mirror your likes in terms of food, places you visit, because it creates the impression that we are like you and therefore that you're more likely to be attracted to us. And by being more likely to be attracted to us, that enables us to assert that control over you and draw fuel from you. What about the situation of reported that the Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton as she is still called by some, channeling Diana, Princess of Wales, and in fact mirroring her? Is Kate engaging in that mirroring? Well, first of all, congratulations to those of you that actually listened to the video before actually commenting. You will see, particularly in relation to the videos about Catherine, that there are some absolute tits that take it upon themselves to comment before actually listening to the videos. They deserve the mantle of idiot. But for the rest of you that listen before you comment, great. Congratulations. But what about this situation with regard to the suggestion that Kate Middleton is somehow mirroring Diana, Princess of Wales? Harry's wife engages in doing so, and you should see my videos about the Diana duplication to understand the instances where she's done that and why. And we know that Harry's wife is engaging in mirroring because we've established that she's a narcissist. But what about the Duchess of Cambridge? Well, we turn to people.com with an article by Stephanie Petit which states, Kate Middleton channeled Princess Diana during her visit to an Armed Forces training academy. In photos released for Armed Forces Day, Kate sports military gear, including a helmet and headphones, just like Princess Diana, Diana, Princess of Wales, did in 1988. Now, first of all, I suspect that Kate may not even be aware that Diana, Princess of Wales, did that. But even if she did, is she engaging in mirroring? Well, first of all, let's find out more about what the article has to say. Newly released photos of Kate Middleton at the Purbright Training Academy echo a similar visit made by her late mother-in-law, Princess Diana, Diana, Princess of Wales, back in 1988. In honour of the United Kingdom's Armed Forces Day on Saturday, Kate shared pictures from her November outing, where she spent time with the 101 Operational Sustainment Brigade at Abingdon Airfield to learn about how new recruits and serving personnel are trained. Kate, 40, sported full military gear, including a camouflage jacket, as she climbed into a tank during the visit. The photos are reminiscent of when Princess Diana, Diana, Princess of Wales, had a similar experience at the Royal Hampshire Regiment at Tidworth. In photos from her 1988 visit, Diana smiled as she sat in a tank with a helmet and headphones on. During the visit, Princess Diana, Diana, Princess of Wales, took part in other military exercises while sporting a green jumpsuit. Alongside the pictures posted on social media, Kate shared a touching tribute. Today, on Armed Forces Day, William and I would like to pay tribute to the brave men and women, past and present, serving in all of our armed forces. At sea, on land, and in the air, here in the United Kingdom and around the world, she wrote. She continued, "Thank you for all you and your families sacrificed to keep us safe. Last year, I was honoured to spend time with the British Army to see how they train serving personnel and new recruits. It was wonderful to see firsthand the many important and varied roles the military played day in, day out to protect us all," Kate wrote. Before signing off with a simple C for Catherine, Kate promised to continue visiting the armed forces, with visits to the Navy and Air Force. I look forward to discovering more about the @Royal Navy and @Royal Air Force UK in due course. Since Prince William, 40, served as a helicopter pilot in the Royal Air Force, the couple has an understanding of the struggles military families go through. They even got their first English Cocker Spaniel, Lupo, to help them at a difficult time. When Prince William was away in the Falkland Islands, he went for dinner with some good friends of ours in the Air Force, and he was saying how difficult it was for Kate because he was leaving for 6 weeks. It was when they'd just got the Spaniel to help her with the time apart, according to Natalie Bressani, who met the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge at a Christmas party for military families in 2018. She appreciates what wives and families go through. So, it's a short article, and in this, of course, she was there for the purposes of learning about how new recruits and serving personnel are trained. As always, Kate demonstrating her interest in the way that people go about their jobs, demonstrating her empathic trait of excellent listener. But is it to be said that she's mirroring Diana, Princess of Wales? Well, quite simply, no, she's not. Naturally, the media will make an attempt to suggest that there are similarities between the two because, look, they both went to military establishments and, oh, look, they're both wearing helmets which have got the relevant earpiece and mouthpiece attached to them. Simply coincidence. It isn't the case that Kate Middleton's channeling Diana, Princess of Wales. Even less so is she mirroring. But there'll be those that will try and suggest that that's the case. Understandably, the rabid and uneducated shuggers that continue to try and beat down anything that Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, does will suggest that, oh look, she's a copycat. Oh look, she's mirroring Diana, Princess of Wales. The fact is, she is not. How do we know so? Well, first of all, it's a simple coincidence that they're attending a military establishment, but moreover, we know that Kate is not a narcissist. And whilst people do mirror, she is not mirroring Diana, Princess of Wales in this instance because she's not actually dealing with her because, obviously, Diana is dead. All she's doing is discharging her obligations as a member of the royal family, taking an interest in the place that she goes to, exhibiting her empathic traits of being an excellent listener, showing decency and honesty in her dealings. The media like to draw the comparison, and of course there'll be those amongst the shuggers that will try and suggest that she is copying and that she is a copycat and that she wants to be like Diana, Princess of Wales. She does not. Why? She is not a narcissist. She does not take shards from other people and make them into her own by way of character trait acquisition. Harry's wife does. Catherine does not. Here, whilst mirroring can be undertaken by anybody, not just narcissists, that is not even occurring here, for the reasons that I've just explained. And it certainly isn't the mirroring that a narcissist would undertake. But this provides a further opportunity to demonstrate to you how Kate, having been established as empathic, might mirror an individual for empathic reasons to make them feel more at ease, but she doesn't mirror for the purpose of the prime aim. She cannot. She's not a narcissist. And in this instance, to suggest that she's in effect mirroring and channeling Diana, Princess of Wales, is simply an attempt by People.com to grab headlines. But the problem is that this kind of information falls into the febrile lunacy of the shuggers, who then might well use it in their continuing attacks against the Duchess of Cambridge. And therefore, in order to demonstrate balance in these situations, we're able to compare and contrast the behaviours of Harry's wife, where she repeatedly mirrors, driven by her narcissism, and she acquires character traits from people, driven by her narcissism, whereas Kate does not, because there is no narcissism driving her own behaviours. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.